Hi everybody, it's David here. Today I just wanted to hit you with a part 2 of Loggy Goes to School with Logstash. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Grok. Now, we're calling this Loggy Goes to School because Loggy is essentially representative of a log file, or a log line, sorry. And log lines need to be transformed. So Loggy is going to school to be transformed into a new and more useful and easier to understand log. So essentially what we're doing is we're going to use Logstash to do that. So if you have a look in here in my terminal window, I've got my Logstash configuration file. In here, Logstash is going to listen on port 5140 for syslog data. Now we've got our rsyslog configuration configured to send syslog data to this port. So it's going to be receiving syslog data. Now, you'll notice in a syslog that you actually have a kind of a format where syslog adds its little bit at the front here, and then the log line is after that. And so what's happening here is that the syslog input here is essentially already processing the syslog format for us and leaving this bit at the end here in a message field. And so we can then use the message field and parse the data in the message field. In this case, the Grok pattern has been essentially set up to parse this message here that you can see. So how does that work exactly? Well, Grok is kind of like regex really. And if you have a look over here, what Grok is doing is we have all these predefined regex patterns, right, with names. So you can see here year, hour, minute. And then we can like reuse these regex patterns all over the place, right? So it's super useful for reuse. So you can see here that we're actually using the year regex that you've got here to process that first part of this log line here, okay, this 2023 that you can see. So essentially we're pulling this part out here using a Grok pattern against it. The Grok pattern is essentially just regex, but it's using these named regexes to make life a little bit easier for reuse and make things a little more readable as well. So you can see here that we've essentially done that. We're parsing that log line. We're essentially getting the date and the time out of here with the regex pattern. And then the rest we're just pulling out as a separate log message. And then we're sending all the data into Elastic Cloud. Super, super easy. So if we do this and we quit out of here, we can run Logstash, and then syslog data will start to be sent into Logstash. Now there's a super cool thing we could do over here, which is we can use this command logger to send data into the syslog. So although this is like a real log line that we get through here, it doesn't happen very often. So I want to make sure that my Grok pattern is working so I can actually inject this log message into the syslog like this, and then I can go over here and have a look at Elastic, and I can see that yes, these log messages are coming in pretty fast. And let's just have a look and make sure our Grok pattern has worked. So I don't see any parsing exception. This is the original message field that we applied the Grok pattern to, and the Grok pattern has pulled out the message field specifically, and then the hour, day, minute, month, and second. So as you can see, the Grok pattern has successfully been applied to this particular log message. So I'll add in to this video in the description, I'll put a link into the patterns so you can see how to use these patterns. And this will enable you to essentially make sense of your log lines and put them into a format that enables them to be analyzed in Elastic using the advanced analytics features. So it's really important that you try to do this for your log lines, right? You try to give them some kind of structure, make them more easy to understand, and it is better to do that at ingestion time like we're doing here with Logstash, because then your users of the system will find it very easy to just do the analytics and not have to worry about doing all the transformations. Sometimes as well, those transformations, if you do them inside, you do what's called a schema on read, you actually can end up with situations where the data doesn't match the schema anymore. Whereas if you do it at ingestion time a lot earlier, it's almost like shift left, right? You're doing it earlier and so you're more likely to spot problems earlier. So definitely recommend schema on read if you can do it. So that's it. So now we're giving it a schema on read using Logstash, using Grok. So, you know, Grok patterns are definitely going to help you out. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye-bye.